It's been a little over 2 months since the release of Multiversus, and looking at the most recent Steam charts, the game is declining at a very aggressive rate. But why? The game came out swinging, on release hitting a peak count of 153,044 players, which for a new release is pretty decent. The game had everything. The playstyle of one of the most influential and widely recognized video game series of all time, and it also managed to play into that nostalgia aspect. It took iconic characters from the Warner Bros. Collection like DC heroes, Looney Tunes, and even... So what went wrong? The game was incredibly hyped up leading to the release, in part due to the trailers and, well, the game looked fun. With a stacked roster of characters and what I like to call the Fortnite art style, it was a game that would easily reach a large audience due to the premise alone. Laggy servers, random disconnects, you name it, Multiversus has it. I played so much of this game on release and the amount of missed moves was fucking unreal. Latency issues ran rampant throughout the newfound community. The Iron Giant would just nuke anyone unfortunate enough to get near him. Forever, I might add. Undying characters. I'm fucking done. And the Warner Bros. Team has taken steps to fix these issues, with a reworking of the hitbox system, changing from being a generalized area where you can get ground slammed by other characters, to being stuck to the character and following how they move. It's good. It still doesn't stop latency issues, but it's a stumble in the right direction. However, bugs like Batman's grapple is still in the game, just as Iron Giant's infinite sit is still there. And these aren't even small bugs that can be overlooked. One throws your character off the side of the map and the other insta-kills a player. And it's a trope seen too often in new video games. Shit servers, game interfering bugs is just the norm. And it's frustrating to see a game with so much potential, but is so riddled with bugs that it breaks the game. And I get it. It isn't always the dev's fault. There are suits that need to meet their deadlines, and that's just how it is. But it's damaging to see games pushed out early and maybe not even get their time in the sun because they are broken, buggy messes. Not every game gets an insanely good anime to revive their dog shit game that was originally released. But the bugs aren't the only reason that Multiversus is slowly sinking. The game is to many people a tourist attraction. To see such iconic characters be forced to fight each other in a Smash-esque styled game was quite frankly a freak of gaming. A good one at that. I think LeBron James versus any of the characters in Multiversus is pretty stupid and pretty funny. But as the nature of tourist attractions is, the novelty wears off. There's only so many times I can watch Velma fucking destroy Jake the dog with the power of words. But this is a fate that is shared by so many games. Especially when the idea is unique, but the execution isn't long lasting. Star Citizen is one game that comes to mind. A galaxy-spanning open-world RPG that is honestly a beautiful game, but behind the concept and the amazing visuals, there is nothing to it. It's a game that you'll play for a while and have a bit of fun, but it's a very surface-level gameplay style without much to do. He's right. However, with Star Citizen, there isn't a game like it. Sure, there are games that are similar, but nothing is truly like Star Citizen. With Multiversus, there is something like it. Smash. Smash Melee, a game that has been around for 2 decades and still has a consistent fan base. Or the newer installment, Smash Ultimate, which just runs laps around Multiversus, with a more polished game and a gameplay style that's more rewarding to the grinders of the game. And that's why Multiversus was doomed from the start. Its attempt to copy a game with an already huge fan base without really putting its own twist on the game style means it will always sit in the shadow of the Smash series. Let's strip away the funny art style and the new characters. And what does that get us? Smash. It's just fucking Smash. And I get what they were trying to do here, but it just doesn't work. Here, let's rewind to the release of Valorant, a CS gameplay clone that integrates the hero-based system into the gameplay. It's pretty fun. It preys on multiple markets with the anime art style and a hero system that has been very popular throughout recent history with Rainbow Six Siege and Overwatch. The combination of these aspects made the game actually quite a unique and enjoyable experience. This is still reflected by the active player count of over 700,000 per day. But personally, I've never really been able to appreciate Valorant, and this can easily be explained away by saying, "Oh, you're not the target audience, not everyone can 2000 IQ Omen outplay like me." Fuck you. It's always felt like a product more than a game, an amalgamation of its features taken from other successful titles. It's a well-made game that plays on its strengths, which is the ability to be a profitable esport. Valorant is clearly a game with a competitive player in mind. Like, look at these trailers, these guys get treated like superheroes. And that's completely fine. I see the merit and respect the style, but there is no variation in the community. It's only ranked players trying to be the best. It's bland. Halo Infinite's the same. A game franchise that, unlike Valorant, had a clear and solid identity in being a party-based shooter, but after the jack-offs at 343 got their grubby little goblin hands on the game, has consistently disappointed fans throughout the last decade. Though, like Valorant, games like Halo 5 and Halo Infinite have been attempts to capitalize on the competitive aspect of gaming, miserably failing to, but I digress. Is this super relevant to multiverses? Up to interpretation. Bottom line, I hate Microsoft. And out of most video games, I can say Multiversus and Valorant are just bland attempts at aping other great titles that have come before them. They are products meant to capitalize on certain markets. This can also be seen in every single new title though. Elden Ring, a Souls game but this time open world. God of War Ragnarok. It's just another sequel to an already established game franchise, but it furthers the story. And don't get me mixed up, I'm not saying Elden Ring or the new God of War are bad games. Quite far from it. I think that these two games are good examples of doing a game series properly with God of War and taking inspiration but putting your own twist on the idea with Elden Ring. Elden Ring especially feeling, even though similar to its predecessors, still unique in its gameplay and world building. Multiversus on the other hand, is copy and pasting the idea and gameplay of Smash. With what? New characters? I get Multiversus was an attempt to maybe introduce people into a more casual fighter game, but there's no real gimmick that makes it stand out from the crowd. Multiversus is a warning. Valorant, while copying an established title, still managed to be very successful. This due to the creative ideas that were implemented. Don't make your game nearly the exact same without any real difference or gimmick that will set you apart from your competitors. You take inspiration, then twist and contort it into your own creation. Otherwise, you'll always live in the shadow of those who have done it better.